chemistry education. Now, what are we going to learn today? Our main focus today is on, we are looking at one main learning objective, which we are going to look at the scheme of work. What are some of the topics that we are going to be learning in very interesting journey of the chemistry? So we are going to look at some of the topics for senior secondary school 1, which is called SS1. So we are going to look at some of the topics that we are going to be learning, and we'll be taking them one by one, week in, every day, every week, and every month. I'll be giving you some of these topics. I'll be teaching you every like I've said, every week, and then every month. You'll be seeing most of these topics. I'll be explaining them on this very interesting channel of science, chemistry, science chem master. So what are the topics? Let's go. Now, for the first one, which we are having on the board, I wrote on the board, scheme of work for senior secondary school, SS1. Now, what are the topics we are going to be looking at in this exciting journey? The first topic we are going to be looking at is called Introduction to Chemistry. We are going to define what is chemistry. So we are going to define what is chemistry, and under chemistry, what are the things we are going to be looking at under the Introduction to Chemistry? We'll be looking at meaning of chemistry, career prospect tied to chemistry. What are the career you can be able to do with the knowledge of chemistry? Another one is called applications of chemistry. Where is chemistry being applied? In fact, virtually everything is under chemistry. We are going to talk more about that. Also look at the adverse effect of chemistry. Most of the chemicals that are being produced, how we have to be very, very careful about the toxicity and the rest. And lastly, we are going to look at scientific method. Scientific method means the systematic way of solving problems in science. As we all know that science is a systematic, organized body of knowledge. Having said that, we look at second one, laboratory apparatus and their uses. We perform experiments in science, especially in chemistry. So what are the common laboratory apparatus that we normally use in chemistry? I will show them to you. Likewise, in the course of the lecture in the future, we'll be looking at their uses as well. Burette, pipette, test tube, and the rest. We talk about their uses. Now, the third one, which we call the nature of matter. What do we have under the nature of matter? What we have under the nature of matter, you are going to look at definition of matter. What is matter? How do we define matter in chemistry? Likewise, the state of matter, solid, liquid, and the rest. We look at the state of matter. We talk more on that area. Changes in state of matter. Matter change from one state to another. That's another good area we're looking at under nature of matter. And then the fourth one called physical change and chemical changes. So matter undergo changes, which can either be physical change or chemical change. We are going to look at the definition of physical change, chemical change. What about the differences between them? We are going to look at the difference between physical change and chemical change and their various examples. Now, we now move on to number 5, which we call elements. Element, a very, very crucial topic in chemistry. Element is one of the backbones of the topic in chemistry. We are going to look at the definition of element and their symbol. Different elements have different symbol. No two elements have symbol. Different elements with their symbol. So symbol is what used to represent element. So we are going to talk about element and their symbol. Likewise, classifications of element into states. Some elements are in solid form, some are in liquid, other ones are in gas. And then we look at the composition of element. What are the things that made up of element? Like you all know, under the division of chemistry. Chemistry is about composition of matter. It talks about it. Likewise, we look at definition of atoms. Another wonderful area. What is atom? Atomic mass, atomic number, and the relationship between atoms and elements. What is the relationship between them? And then move on to number 6 items, which we call molecules and atomic number. So look at definition of molecules. How do you define molecules? Example of molecules. We now move on to under the atomicity. Atomicity. What is atomicity? And an example of atomicity. Fine. We now move on to number 7, which we call Dalton's atomic theory. John Dalton. Dalton's atomic theory and its modification. You state it, you write what modification as well. Now we now move on to number 8 called particulate nature of matter. Particulate means what are the particles, things that are inside what matter, such as atom. So we look at the structure of atom and its subparticle. Structure of atom and its subparticle. What are the particles that are inside atom? That's another area we look at. Likewise, we move on to number 9. Rules for filling electrons. We have rules which normally is for filling electrons inside, particularly inside their shell. One of them is called half-bar principle, always exclusive principle. We then have one Ohm's rule. So these are the 3 main basic rules and principles that guide us in filling electrons. Now move on to number 10, which we call electrons configuration of atom. So we have the way we normally write the electron configuration of atom using what? S-P-D-F orbital. I will explain what is S orbital, P orbital, D orbital, and then what? F orbital in the subsequent lessons. Now we now move on to likewise what? Formation of ions and valency. What do you mean by ions? What is an ions? What is ions? The one that atoms that have charges, either positive or negative. We end up that area with what? Valency. What is valency? We now move on to number 11. Relative atomic masses of elements. We are going to define this. And then what? Underneath, we move on to what? Isotopes and example. What is an isotope? What are examples of isotope? I'll round up that area to calculation of relative abundance of isotope, which we call RAM, relative atomic mass. How do we calculate it? Okay, we now move on to number 12, called compound. Definition of compound. Examples of compound. We have so many compounds. We look at that example, the definition, and relationship between what? Atoms, elements, and compound. We have talked about atoms, talk about elements, we now talk about compound. So we now look at how they related, atoms, elements, and compound. Okay, again, on still that area, we look at classifications of compound into states. Some compound exist in liquid state, some exist in what? Gaseous state, some exist in what? Solid state. So we are going to classify compound into this state. And likewise of ions, using ions or valency of atom to form compound. So we are going to see how we use ions or valency of element to form compound. We now look at number 13, IUPAC nomenclature. IUPAC nomenclature of compound. What is IUPAC? We'll talk about the meaning. International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. So we'll talk on that area. Another beautiful topic. We now move on to number 14, which we call concept of oxidation number and uses. What is oxidation number? How do we use? What is the uses of oxidation number? Okay, and then number 15, we are going to look at mixture. What is a mixture? Example of mixture. Relationship between elements, compound, and then what? Mixtures. Okay, and then we round it up with what? Number 16 called separation techniques. What are the separation techniques? We are going to list them. We have many of them. Evaporation, crystallization, centrifugation, crystallization, so many of them. Filtration. So we are going to talk about them, and then how do we carry them out and their industrial application. So my viewers, so these are some of the topics we are going to spend a very interesting journey on this learning about what chemistry in Science Chem Master. So these are what I have for us today. So please, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is what? Science Chem Master. The Chem is what? C-H-E-M. Science Chem Master. That's my YouTube channel. Punch it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so you see more subsequent topics. On that page, I say that remain chemically intelligent. Bye bye.